Our first session today is called Collaborate and Innovate, Building True Research Partnerships. And I'd like to introduce, first off, a coworker of mine. His name's Greg Heiss. And Greg is our Director of Research Innovations for Gongos Research. He is responsible for guiding the innovation strategy at our company, and he and his team sits in various conference rooms. They use whiteboards and they develop all kinds of concepts and develop those products into products that we can leverage against all of our clients. Greg and his team ensure that innovation makes research process more engaging to consumers and also more meaningful and powerful to corporations. Next, I would like to introduce Bill Isley, who is a client of ours from Hallmark Cards. Bill leads a team in the Consumer Understanding Insights Division at Hallmark, and he supports the greeting card division. He has been there for 19 years, and some might say that he is the hallmark of the company himself. Throughout his career, he has provided research support and guidance and insights for areas such as distribution planning, space management, Hallmark.com, Hallmark Retail, mass channel sales, and most recently for the greeting cards division. And last but not least, I'd like to introduce Sagal Cordero, and she's the Director of Global Product Research at General Motors. She oversees GM's efforts to gain customer insights in support of new product development globally. Sagal is responsible for enhancing GM's understanding of the automotive consumer through a variety of methods such as product clinics, ethnographic sessions, online communities, and various marketing models. Now, Sagal is doing several presentations over the next 2 days, so you may have seen her. You're not seeing things. She has been doing a couple, playing double and triple duty.
There's another one tomorrow.
So, and now I'd like to turn everything over to Greg Heiss to go ahead and launch our presentation.
Thank you, Christy. Let's just make sure that everything's working here. Oops. You can't have a presentation without visuals. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for taking the time to be here today. We're going to be spending some time talking to you about the subject of innovation today. And often when we think about the subject of innovation, we think of the scientist in the laboratory kind of coming up with some great idea, or the inventor kind of working out of his garage or his basement, coming up with this fantastic idea on his own. And certainly that is an important part of innovation as a whole. But what we want to talk about today is kind of an emerging area in the field of innovation, and that's with regard to collaborative innovation. And in particular today, what we're going to be doing is talking about how collaborative innovation has resulted in the development of some very important new marketing research products. And we're going to be spending some time talking with Bill and Sagal about their experience of going through collaborative innovation, and we'll be doing a number of those different things today. At Gongos Research, we feel that innovation is a really important part of our business for the future. And as such, what we've done is we've actually developed, as Christy mentioned, sort of an innovation strategy, which focuses on the development of maybe 2 or 3 key new products each year. And our whole process of development takes a look at what makes most sense for our company and for our clients and for the field and research in general. And that's kind of how we focus our innovation efforts. What I want to do before we sit down and spend some time talking to Bill and Sagal about their experience with collaborative innovation, I want to kind of give you an overview of the 2 products that we actually collaboratively developed with General Motors and Hallmark. The first is what we call the Gongos Meta Community. And essentially what this is a very powerful marketing research platform that essentially creates a hybrid between an online custom panel and an online community. The term meta community really means community of communities, and that's essentially what it is. It is a way of harnessing the power of a large number of consumers quantitatively without losing the capability of creating small, intimate sub-communities at the same time. This product was developed early in 2007, and essentially what we feel it has done is dramatically extended the power of the traditional online community environment, which has historically been small and qualitative in nature, but now beefed it up and given it a lot of qualitative or quantitative capabilities. And so, essentially what we've done is we've married this idea with our online survey capabilities and the ability to really target consumers very granularly, and also extended it to have a global capability. The second product we're going to be talking about today is actually a newly launched product, which we call Gongos Go Shop. And really what it is a virtual shopping platform that delivers what we believe to be an unmatched degree of flexibility and analytical firepower. It really does provide real-world results that are projectable to actual sales, and Bill will talk a little bit about the process that has gone into the creation of that. Also, basically what it is a browser-enabled virtual shopping platform that we feel is a very exciting new product. But at the end of the day, really, innovation in and of itself is essentially meaningless unless it drives actual results and unless it drives actual change within an organization. And so, as we talk to Segal and Bill, what we're going to be talking about is that experience, that process of collaborative innovation. And so that's what we'll be talking about. So I'll just kind of pop over here and we'll begin our conversation. So Segal and Bill, thank you first of all for taking the time to be here today, and I appreciate you taking the time to share your experience. What I want to do first of all is just kind of talk a little bit about what was going on within your organization that drove the need to create some type of new research solution. And Segal, maybe we can start with you.
At GM, we actually had been working with online communities since 2003. And when we first, is my mic working?
No.
I don't know if it's on.
I don't think her mic is on.
No? Not? No? No?
Did you turn it on?
My mic work? No. Try it now?
There you go.
Okay,
There you go.
good. Thanks. So at GM, we've been working with online communities since 2003. And we first started working with communities that were very focused and mainly using it for qualitative purposes, so for brainstorming, for example. So as an example, we had a community where we had product innovators at first, and then we had another community with women. And as we were evolving how we use these communities and getting requests internally for other things for us to do, we realized that we needed to evolve these communities to address some of the new issues that we had in our company. We really wanted to get the same flexibility that we had with our external or offline type research methodologies. We wanted to be able to do it online too. So we needed to make the online environment and the online communities much larger. That was one thing that we needed to do. Our company is very data driven, right? So yeah, the brainstorming is great, but we really needed to start getting some numbers behind, well, how many people like this and how many people want that. And oh, by the way, how many people within the mid-car segment like it, you know? So it was this combination of let's have a better understanding and start working more and more with the online communities that drove us to want something different than what we had before. So we've been working, it was just the process of working with the online communities and evolving through time. And that's where we started with this.
Great. And Bill, how about you? What was going on within Hallmark?
Yeah, there was the short answer is the business requirements changed. If you think about the typical Hallmark store, your Walmart card department, and it's the sea of cards, and the product that's traditionally been out there has been the traditional greeting card. And then think about some of the new products that we've been launching, like our sound cards. Testing those sound cards is very different than testing our traditional product in a few ways. One, it is tremendously more expensive. The cost of product is much higher. So if we use our traditional methods for testing the success or failure of that product as it launches, it's a little bit too late. We've already had to manufacture some of that product, and the cost of that product being so high makes it very unattractive to be wrong. So the business requirements were really challenging us as a research group to say, how can we get a better read on what product is going to be successful and not successful before we ever make the first card? And that forced us into an online environment. It forced us to say, okay, if we've got a digital image and a sound file for that sound card, is there a way that we can take that product to a test before we ever send it to retail? Obviously, retail sales is what we're trying to project. We're trying to see, what product is going to be successful at retail and what product is not. And then the other thing that kind of was an additional challenge for us was we saw this as an opportunity to say, in a retail test, all we can say is it sold or it didn't sell. And we can't tell much about why. We don't know anything about the consumer that is buying or not buying that product. So the additional challenge that was kind of thrown at us was, as we're testing this new product, we're hoping to find a product that is attractive to more people and to different segments of people, and can you tell us something about that at the same time? And we said, sure, no problem. So we said, we need to look for new opportunities, new ways of testing cards before we ever make them, and be able to say something about the consumers that are attracted to that product and about the consumers that are not attracted to that product.
Okay, and so I guess I'll just kind of follow up and say, so why choose to kind of go down this innovation path? I mean, you kind of laid out what was going on within Hallmark, but why go down this path?
Yeah, well, quite frankly, innovation has been called out as a strategic platform for Hallmark by our CEO and his management team. And when we think about innovation within Hallmark, we think about it not just about the products that we're making, but also the services that we offer to consumers and the business processes that we use to execute our business. So we're all challenged with an innovation mindset, whether we're developing product for consumers or whether we are developing new business processes for us. So we're taking all of these challenges for this business transformation that we're going through, and we're trying to say, okay, from an innovation mindset, this new way, what new way can we go about doing it? Couple that with Gongos approaching us. Gongos is a trusted supplier of ours and that does a large amount of both qualitative and quantitative work for us. So Gongos knows our business very well, and Gongos approached us and said, hey, as you mentioned, we like to develop a product or two every year with a key supplier. And we have been thinking, as we've been working with your business and listening to you and through conversation, that a virtual shelf environment would be something that we'd be interested in collaborating with as a project to develop. Would you be interested? And we started thinking about what that might look like, and we said it has the potential, in the dreaming stage, has the potential to give us some tremendous information about how that card might sell in a retail shelf. Say something about that consumer and do it before a card is ever made. So one of the things that we're trying to kind of instill into our culture is that innovation comes from anywhere, right? So it doesn't have to just come internally and say, what can we do about it? It can also be from a trusted vendor.
Okay, very good, thank you. And Isabel, how about you? Why did GM choose to kind of go down this innovation path with regard to what you were trying to achieve?
To be honest, we had a very good understanding of the requirements that we were getting internally from our clients of what they wanted us to be able to achieve online with these online communities. And we were just not being able to deliver those things. And when we looked at the solutions that were out there at the time, honestly, there was no solution that would perfectly fit what we needed to do. At the time, some companies were too panel focused, right? So you were able to do quantitative surveys, for example, but not get the intimacy of this online environment and an online community. Other companies offered solutions that were very much community focused without the heavy quantitative analytics that we needed. So we just felt that in order for us to take this a step further and really be able to answer some of the questions that we were getting internally, we needed to create something new and something that would meet our needs.